Oh, what's up, everybody? It's your boy LB back again with another album review. You know what I'm saying? And the album I want to talk about today is the first full length album from Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Mecca and the Soul Brother, released in 1992. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For those who may not be familiar with Pete Rock and CL Smooth, man, um, they're a hip hop duo from Mount Vernon, New York. Uh, they came out around I guess say around the late '80s, early '90s. You know, Pete Rock was a producer who got his name out there because he started like doing like remixes of a lot of popular hip hop tracks. You know, for like Public Enemy and so forth. You know what I'm saying? CL Smooth was he got his name out there for his lyrical skills, and he was known to like avoid profanity in his lyrics, man. He like if you listen to a Pete Rock and CL Smooth record, CL Smooth does not do a whole lot of cursing, and if he does say a cuss word, it's something like it might be something like shit, you know, something like that. And he doesn't overdo it, but he was known for his lyrical skills, avoiding using profanity, and for like dropping like his 5% knowledge in his rhymes. But you know what I'm saying? They came out with an EP called All Sold Out in 1991. I know one of the singles from that album was The Creator, which they had a video for. Then they generated a lot of hype behind that. And then in 92 they came out with this. You know what I'm saying? Mecca and the Soul Brother. That first full length album, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, there's not a lot I can say about this album that hasn't already been said. I mean, it's one of the greatest hip hop albums that ever was released. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's if you look it up on the internet, it's always on the best of list regarding albums in general and music. And this album had three singles. The lead single was TROW. Excuse me, sorry. The first single was TROY. They Reminisce Over You, which was the lead single and the biggest single from the album. Uh, Another single was Straighten It Out and Lots of Loving. But They Reminisce Over You. That was the biggest single from this album, and that's Pete Rock and CL Smooth's most well known track. I mean, that's the track they're best known for. You know what I'm saying? When you think of Pete Rock and CL Smooth, that's what you think about. They Reminisce Over You. And yeah, that song. I mean, that's considered one of the greatest hip hop songs ever, man. It's cemented in history, man. Uh, the sample Pete Rock used was a sample he used from a jazz musician named Tom Scott. I actually checked out the original song. I mean, the original song is dope too, man. But yeah, that song was actually about Trouble T. Roy from Heavy D and the Boys. He had died like maybe a year earlier. He was I think he was dancing at a party and he like lost his balance and he fell off the balcony of the hotel and fell to his death. But that was dedicated to Trouble T. Roy from Heavy D and the Boys. And that's a great song. Then Lots of Loving. I typical. It's a smooth like kind of rap R&B track. You know what I'm saying? Pretty dope. And of course, Straightening Out. That song was about bootleggers. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the early '90s, a lot of rap albums, man. A lot of rappers they had all kinds of tracks and stuff. Talking talking junk about bootleggers and stuff like that, man. But that's what that song was about. Then other songs like Ghettos of the Mind, where he talks about the inner city, things that happens living in the inner city in the ghetto hoods. Uh, Anger in the Nation, that's about 5%er, Nation of Gods and Earths. The Basement, which is a posse cut, features Heavy D, Rob O, and Grap, and I think his name is Detta or Dada. That's one of the artists that was up under Pete Rock. Grap Lover, that's Pete Rock's little brother. And the Rob O dude, him and Grab Lover, they were members of a group called I&9, which was a rap group that Pete Rock was producing after him and CL Smooth parted ways. They actually completed an album called Center of Attention. You know what I'm saying? Like during the mid 90s, Pete Rock, he had started like a label called Soul Brother Records, but it didn't. All that fell through. But that's another story though. You know what I'm saying? Skins, that's about. We already know what Skins is about. Sex. You know what I'm saying? That's got Grand Pooba from Brand Nubian. But this is a classic hip hop album, man. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. You know what I'm saying? Very historical, man. Like, if you a hip hop head, or you somebody that's like trying to expand your collection of hip hop records, man, this is definitely something you need in your collection, man, because it's a gem. It's a hip hop masterpiece, man. But I mean, it's an enjoyable record, man. You know what I'm saying? But P Rock and CL Smooth, Mecca and the Soul Brother, released in 1992. You know what I'm saying? This album is still in print. You can still get it. And I think, I don't know what year it was. I don't know if it was 2012, but they actually released like a limited edition, like box set copy of this album. It's a box set that features like liner notes, additional liner notes, from Pete Rock and CL Smooth themselves. The box set features like pictures, more pictures of the two, and it also came with a second disc which featured instrumentals of a lot of the tracks. But you can go ahead and cop that. But this album is still available. What I'm saying, I predict this album will be available, for years, because it's that much of a classic. But it's still available. So if you ever come across it, man, don't hesitate to cop it, man, because you won't be disappointed. But anyway, this is LB with another album discussion. We'll get back at you guys soon for the next one. Peace and love. Be blessed.